Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. I got John back here, and we're gonna have a great night of just music and talk, and at least I hope so. How you doing, John?
Yeah, I'm fair to middling, thank you.
Oh,
Yourself?
Midland. I was hoping for that. Cool. I'm doing peachy. Yeah,
Oh, Peachy Keen.
peachy keen. There you go. I think I remember you seeing this song on my playlist and saying, "Well, you really love the original song from Talk Talk, and that's Life's What You Make It." And this song I had on the list by another band. It was a cover. And you're like, oh, I love that song. It's by Talk Talk. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, do I just walk away and not give that to you? And the more I thought about it, I said, oh, what the heck? It seemed like you really, really liked that song. Is that true?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like I think you actually said that. I love this song. And I thought,
Yes.
you know what? I love this cover so much that I'm gonna present it to the guy who loves the original. And let's see. I'm just really curious how it stands up according to a real fan. So uh, the band is Zinoba, and the song, Life's What You Make It. So go check it out and tell me what you make of that cover song.
Interesting. Uh, I don't know if it is slower in tempo, but it feels slightly slower. It's probably the same speed actually, but the piano seems more menacing. Um, those that drum rhythm's quite interesting. Like it's almost South American in a way. Um, Interesting start. A little bit back. Okay.
Life's what you make it. Can't escape it. Nothing can change it. Baby, yesterday's favorites. Don't you hate it? Life's what you make it. 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 Baby.
Okay. All right. I've got to get my head out of my ass here because my first initial thoughts are this is a wonderful, wonderful song, and what the hell are they doing covering it? And that's not the attitude to have. I will say this: I'm not keen on the vocals. He seems to have one gear, and whether it's croaky or shouting, it's there's not really a lot of light and shade in there for me. Um, but the music is speaking a lot more than the vocals are, and that drummer knows what he's doing. Already, there's some really impressive sort of little fills and touches. Really nice. Um, yeah, so open mind, John. You know. Okay, back just a touch.
Baby, don't try to shade it. Don't backdate it. Anticipate it. Baby, life's what you make it. Beauty's make it. Life's what you make it. Life's what you make it. Life's what you make it. Baby, life's what you make it. Celebrate it. Anticipate it. Yesterday's favorites. Nothing can change it. Life's what you make 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 it.
It's this drummer.
Nothing can change it. Life's what you make 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 it. Nothing can change it. Celebrate it. Nothing can change it. That's what you make it.
I'm sorry, I'm really concentrating on the drums now. The music's good, actually. I didn't think I'd like it, but I am liking it. The vocals I can take or leave, and I'm actually starting to zone them out a bit. Um, that drummer, though, some of those fills back. I don't know how far back. I'm going to go back a little bit to see if I can catch them again because they were lovely.
Nothing can change it. That's what you make 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 it. Nothing can change it. Celebrate it. Nothing can change it. That's what you make 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 it.
Fair enough.
So you know I'm gonna have to keep going with this whole song title thing. So what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was interesting actually, and it was a kind of a roller coaster ride for me. Because as we said before, I adore this song.
Mm.
And I've got quite a few musical prejudices, you know, and bad habits, and I'm starting to recognize them more and more. So one of them is, and it's a weird thing, but a lot of bands, when I like them, I really like their first album and don't like their following albums, unless they're a great band like Radiohead or Smiths or whatever. And that's true for bands like the Arctic Monkeys and others. You know, I really like the first and then don't like the rest. That's a hang up of mine, and I'm working on it. Another one is real favorite songs and someone covers them and it's like, how dare they, you know, what the hell are they going to bring to this slice of perfection? And I have to admit I was trying not to, but as I was listening to this, that was my attitude. And I sort of I did change my mind listening to it a bit. Not 100%, but I did.
Okay.
So I did enjoy it in a way, but it wasn't like 100%. This is a banger for me. I have to be honest with you.
Okay.
So starts off, I think I said in the video, I don't know if it's a different tempo or not, but it just felt slightly slower.
Yeah, it is.
And because of that, the pianos, and again, I've not listened to the original in probably about 3 months or something, but it felt it was slightly lower. It was definitely more menacing. So it sort of kicks in. There's a really interesting sort of drum beat, which I struggle to place, but I would say South American, that's sort of like a slowed down samba or bossa nova or something. It was that, you know, nice rhythm. And so immediately you get a different feel. So, okay, they're interpreting it different. And then he started singing, and I really did. I don't want to sound like Chris here, but I didn't enjoy his vocals.
That's great.
I feel bad just saying the words, but
no, it's fine. No, really. Yeah.
But I think he's got an okay voice, probably. He's totally
he puts it out there. Really,
yeah. I mean,
you know,
I was just trying to think, because there are certain bands and songs I listen to where guys have got a similar voice, probably, and I don't have an issue with that. So I think perhaps it's the setting of this lovely song, but I just felt that his voice irritated me at first. I thought it didn't have a lot of light and shade to it. It was either croaky or shouty, you know, and I did actually stop the video and say I was probably being a bit unfair, you know, in terms of my assessment of this. So I tried to reset my mind and go for it. But I do confess, I did start to zone his voice out. And so it was just a murmur in the side of my sort of vision or whatever. But the music grabbed me more and more as the song went on, and probably as I relaxed and opened my mind. So, you know, this is as much about me being a dickhead as it is about the song. You know?
I doubt it.
And trying, you know.
I doubt it, but okay.
The one thing I have to say is that drummer is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't often, I mean, you know, certain drummers obviously, but it's not something I do pick up on fills and stuff, but his accents, I mean, everything. It wasn't just stupid, you know, caveman drum rolls every time, but he was putting emphasis and little touches here and there. And then he did do some fantastic fills towards the end, and he was doing proper, you know, Animal from the Muppets. He was going for it, you know, it was all over the place.
Yeah,
and I bloody loved it. It was really, really good. So it was quite an interesting experiment for me about, I was being a bit more self-analytical about how I look at things and what I thought of things. I'm trying to change my mind to be a bit more open. I kind of think that I am normally, but that I recognised I certainly wasn't being with this. And I was like, kind of how dare they kind of thing, but it was totally unfair. Now, the voice still a problem for me, but I mean, that's something you're going to come across, and it's not like it's something that would make me turn the song off at all. And I would listen to this again. I don't think I'd put it on a regular playlist, but I would definitely listen to it again, because actually by the end of it, I was really enjoying the music. There was definitely a different feel to the song, because the original is iconic, really. So they can't replicate it, and even if they could, what's the point? So you have to put your own twist on things. But yeah, overall, it was actually, when I got my mind straight, it was really enjoyable.
I'm so appreciative that you were able to really kind of approach it in a way where, like, you had the biases, and I totally understand that, because again, I knew that I was giving it to someone who really, really loved that song, maybe even the band, Talk, and you put it up there, like, if someone's going to do a cover of a Beatles song for me, or other bands that I like in my top 10 or whatever, it's like, you got to bring it, come up with something that's different. I don't like, well, if it just sounds completely different, that might be cool. But if it's going to sound similar, it's got to be, maybe change the tone of it, change the pacing. Maybe the instrumentation part, maybe you don't have that same with the talk, like, with that sort of soaring guitar kind of, it had that all floating around and stuff like that. This was more like a stripped down, you had the piano, dun, 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 and it kind of sort of repeats that, several times, it's building up, and you had that guitar, that acoustic, that down, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And you hear the fingers on the neck, actually, I love that. But go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this was a smoky barroom version. Do you know what I mean? I could almost after hours sort of type song, It's
right.
And whereas the original is more, I would say, ascending, ethereal almost, it's dream state for me.
Although someone didn't tell the drummer that it was a smoky sort of barroom kind of, because he was playing like he was in an arena, like where, the big, I mean, he was just, as you're saying, just, knocking the drums all over the place. There was one particular right at the very end, as he's doing that last, life's what you make it. And he didn't stop. It was like he knew it was coming to an end. He was trying to get every last bang on that drum. That was so good. It really was.
I wonder if he was getting paid by the notes.
Yeah, right.
That's another $20 you owe me.
That's great. Yeah, there's some. So I think this might.
What do you think about this song? Sorry, what do you think about this song and the original? Tell me what you think.
Well, I love this song, and I'm going to tell you why. I really like the Talk original. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's that version is very polished. I don't know how else to really describe it. It's a very polished, very produced.
Yes.
I love the melody, I love that. So here's what happened here. There's a movie, it's a German movie that came out in 2004. And it's called, the English version is Head On. German-Turkish drama film back in 2004. I saw that on Netflix some years ago.
Right.
And it's about a German widower, right? His wife dies. He's basically done. Life is just, over for him. And he goes into drugs and drinking, and doesn't really care if he lives anymore. I think he wrecks up his car. He gets into a psychiatric hospital. He meets someone who's younger than him, a woman who's in there for her own things. She then proposes to him that they get married, because she is, her Turkish family is very strict, and they're trying to control her, and she wants to sort of move out and be free with her life. And if she can marry him, just for like, for like the legal status with like that, then she'll be able to do that and finally break away. And he says no. He says no. She actually does harm to herself, and he's like, oh my God. So he finally says, okay, fine, and they do it, and then they kind of live separate lives, but then somehow they're connected again, and they actually fall in love and the whole thing. The end of the film, as reality really sets in, and what you hope for a happy ending doesn't happen, and then it blacks out, and then this song comes on as the credits start to roll. So I think that because I experienced all that, and then this song comes on and just the piano, and because when the movie's over, if you're ever if you're taken by a powerful movie, right, and you start to think, you're like, what the hell was that? And all of a sudden, dun, 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 and I was like, oh wait, I think I know this, but what is this? And then I'm listening to it as the screen credits roll, and I'm like, and to me, it was an extension of that film. It was almost like he actually sings in a very low voice. I mean, because he screams, but it's like, baby, what I actually pictured the actor, singing. It was just that. It was like, and then the way he's screaming, life's what you make it. It was as though it was an extension of the film. If the director, whoever picked that song out to put at the end, after the whole, and it's a great film. I would recommend you watch it. I was like, whoa. And then the drum and everything. It was like, and he's just, so to me, I love the screaming part because it's like, life's what you make it, take chances, and, love lost, right? But better to have loved, than not never loved at all, right? And it's that motto. It's just like, go for it. And life is what, it's not going to come to you, okay? Got to go out for it. But in the meantime, you're going to get bruised and battered, smashed around. But there's also going to be amazing stuff too. And just all that emotion, just kind of like, life's what you make it. It connected with me. And it really did. And then the drummer is like, yeah, I'm inspired by that too. He's like, you think you're going to be a star by singing your ass off? I'm going to go crazy. So I love it. And when I kind of knew that you were a big Talk fan, and this was always on a list for Chris, I was like, oh man, I could have taken the safe route and given it to Andy or Phil. But I thought, hey, let me give it to a guy who actually, I think the bar is raised. Why not? Because that's what I am. I mean, I talk about taking chances and stuff like that. And I thought I'd take a chance, and it proves it, I think too, that as much as I would like, the feedback, the review to come back saying, I loved it. And when I get that, it's great. But I'm also like, I got to try to be real, it's like, not everyone's going to like everything, and I'm like, I was taking that chance. And I was trying to stay true to that too, and rolling the dice, and then if you liked it,
even better.
Yeah. But this is cool. I actually take this as a really good review from you because you're kind of like me, which is great. You listen to the whole thing, you really trying to be fair. Not really crazy about the vocals, but this and that. No. So I liked it.
No, I mean, it could have been a lot worse if I hadn't stopped myself, I could have written this off within 30, 40 seconds and just gone. So
I'm going to take us out and say, John, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you listening to this. And
my pleasure.
And I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but whoever watches this, thank you. And let me know if you saw that movie. And what did you think? And what did you think about this song and how it was sort of played at the end? Did it have that same effect on you as it did me? And in the meantime, I'll see you, every one of you, and John again on the next episode of Into the Music.
See ya.